Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I decided to do another video, a second video with more problems of the three properties. And the reason I decided to do more examples is the properties are really important. The commutative property, the associative property, the distributive property, they're very important. And it's really good if you understand when you see something happening algebraically, what's going on. So I'm going to do a couple more examples. Let me grab this and move it down. Okay, so now we got line one, we got parentheses x plus 1 times parentheses 2 plus 9x. And then what you see is basically in the second line, we have basically the same thing, except within the second parenthesis, we just reverse the order. Instead of being 2 plus 9x, we do 9x plus 2. Remember, whenever you reverse the order, it's like a commute. And you commute into work, and then you reverse the order and commute home from work. So this is the commutative property. And because we have an addition sign here inside the parentheses, this is the commutative property of addition. So we would choose that one. Now, the second part is, again, we have this x plus 1, and all we did, let me see if I can get this to work. All we're doing is we're taking this and moving it over here, and we're taking this and moving it over here. So we're just reversing the order. That's all we're doing. And this time, it's the commutative property of multiplication because it's the parentheses that we're moving. And parentheses always means multiplication. So all I would do is I would come here and I would do commutative property of multiplication, and then I would submit it. And that would be that. All right, so let me clear this real quick. Clear. All right, now let's do the next one. Next one is, okay, we got 3 lines. Let's see. So always start by figuring out what's changed from line 1 to line 2. So x plus 10 parentheses and then 9 plus 8x parentheses. So you can see that the x plus 10 is still the same. All we did is we switched the order between the 9 plus 8x and the 8x plus 9. So we just switched the order. So that's the commutative property. When we reverse the order or switch the order, it's just the commutative property. And because it's addition, this is the commutative property of addition. Now from line 2 to line 3, we just switch the order of the parentheses. Now the x plus 10 is second and the 8x plus 9 is first. So again, we just switch the order. So it's the commutative property, but because we are dealing with parentheses now, it's the commutative property of multiplication. Submit. Let's see what else we got. Next problem. All right, so now we got 3 lines. We got B, and then we got the quantity A times C, and then we have line 2, we have B times A times C. Now notice, the letters are still in the same order. It's B times A times C, and then B times A times C. So it's not the commutative property. But what we've done is we've done the regrouping. Remember, your parents don't want you hanging with the C crowd. They want you hanging with the B crowd. So instead of the A times C, we're going to do B times A, and we're going to leave the C outside because we don't want to hang with them anymore. So this, going from line 1 to line 2, is an example of the associative property of multiplication. Remember, we got parentheses here, and we got multiplication going on inside. So that's the associative property. Now, look at what we do inside the parentheses. We went from BA to AB. So basically all we did was flip the order. Remember, we did a commute. We went from going to work to going away from work. So that's the commute. We're changing the order of the commute. So this is the commutative property, and it's multiplication. Submit it. That's it. All right, let's do one more, I think would be good. Okay, we got more. So if you look, the order is the order of the letters from line 1 to line 2 are the same. ACB, ACB. So this is not commutative. What you see, it's a regrouping. We're no longer associating with the A, we're associating with the B now. So this is an example of the associative property, and it is multiplication. So associative property of multiplication, and then look what happens inside the parentheses. It was C times B, now it's B times C. So all we did was flip the order, commutative property inside and its multiplication. So this is the commutative property of multiplication. And that would be our answer. Let's see, is there one more here? I think we'll do one more. All right, so this one, we got 3 lines. Now notice the order has changed. It was 10, and then it was 4 plus 5x. Inside the parentheses, the order has changed. Now it's 5x plus 4. So this is an example of the commutative property. And because we have a plus sign in between these two terms, it's the commutative property of addition. That's what happened. Now, remember, whenever you get rid of the parentheses, and you can see in line 3, there is no more parentheses, that's distributive property. 10 times 5 is 50, 10 times 4 is 40. So this is the distributive property. That one should be the easiest one. Whenever the parentheses disappears, that's distributive property, like 9 times out of 10. So we submit this and we keep it moving. That's it. I think that's enough. I'm gonna stop and post this.